All right. What's up, everybody? It's Lord of the Trash here, doing another Taking Out the Trash on Thursday Night Football. I have a special guest with me today, Wade Sugiyama. We were colleagues working on over on the agency side. Welcome, Wade. Thanks for joining the show, man. I appreciate you. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's get it on. What we have going on in today's show, just like every other week, is that one, we're going to preview the game. We'll talk about the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll be talking about the team form for the Commanders, and Wade's going to cover the Eagles. We're going to give our trash players of the week. I know you guys love this because we got some hot two each for both Wade and I of some players that are going to absolutely stink it up on the field. And then last, actually, I'm going to open this up a little bit more. Wade and I are just going to talk a little bit about business. As you guys know, there's a business franchise within Hot Garbage. So Wade and I are going to pontificate a little bit about gamification, marketing, and do all of those things. But first, we're going to get into team form. So, first up, Washington Commanders. Okay. Usually, the hot garbage is all about talking trash, but how could you talk trash about the Washington Commanders right now this year? I mean, they went from just a moribund franchise where everyone was complaining about the field. You had Dan Snyder, who was getting he ended up getting reprimanded for all of the different legal things that he was doing. Just desperate for wins. And then all of a sudden, I'll tell you what, wait, it's the quarterback. It's always you get a good quarterback, and it just changes everything. Um, yeah, and yeah, Caleb Williams. I mean, he got some trash from the Seattle Seahawks. We gave the Bears our offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, and he is awful. He is You could take that, and yeah, he's already got fired. I don't even think it was like his second year or something, but he already got canned. So yeah, he obviously wasn't the right fit. But what you do have a good fit with is Dan Quinn. You draft a good quarterback, and here's the thing: you just don't turn the ball over, right? Like Jane Daniels has been amazing. I think he's only has like 3 turnovers this year, or 2 turnovers, or 2 interceptions. When you don't turn the ball over, you win. That's kind of how it works. And this guy's making like he's not making dink and dunk throws either. I mean, he's Yeah, even when he was playing for well, I know he spent his last year at LSU, but he had those couple years over at Arizona State. Like, I didn't expect him to be this good. I think quarterbacks can look so good, and then you draft them, and then it's such a crapshoot, man. It's like you really have to be a special, unique person to be able to be successful in the NFL. I mean, you got to be able to process information so quickly. But Commanders, like they're a Cinderella story. Unfortunately, I can't talk too much trash. I do have some players who are going to underperform that I'll talk about in a little bit. But they're a feel good story. So they've trapped me. I can't do a feel bad story even though I want to, because that's what hot garbage is all about. um, so here's how they've been doing. I think they're 7-2 right now. I mean, they've put up numbers, right? They beat the Browns 34-13. They beat the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are surprisingly good. Maybe the Cardinals weren't as good at the time when they beat them, but they beat them 42-14. They had a shootout with the Bengals, 38-33. They're like This is a really good team. Yeah, they lost to a Russell Wilson led Pittsburgh Steelers team last week, but they still looked good. I mean, they still looked really solid. They can execute. So I, in terms of money line and the Commanders, I like Washington here on the money line. Um, and I'll look up the overs and unders, but like I like Washington in this game straight up. I just think they're a solid team and they're a team on the rise. So um, that's my take on the Commanders. What are you seeing with the Eagles? Yeah, and speaking of Saquon, I mean that play, right? The backwards hurdle. I have Saquon on my fantasy team, but I think I've seen that also because everyone's just posting it up in the social networks and everything. But like probably seen that 100 times. But I don't. What do you think about player hurdling? Like I'm all for it. I think the coaches hate it because then they put themselves up in the air, like oh my god, like someone's gonna land on their head or break their back. But I think it's fun. Hurdle the defender. Fuck it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, if someone gets their position right, they can get them. Like they're gonna they flip them. I think another great hurdle from last week, I think, was McBride, the tight end from Arizona. He like spun off a guy and then just hurdled another guy. And yeah, it's even more amazing when those tight ends are doing it, right? Like these are big dudes who are like mainly for blocking, and they're just going out there hurdling somebody. They're these players are like total freaks of nature, man. They're just they're pretty amazing. Yeah, it yep. Yeah. And sorry, the odds. So I have the odds up now. The spread is 3.5. Kind of depends on which sportsbook operator you go to, but it's 3.5 Philly. And the totals, the over unders is 49.5. You know what? Actually, I on over unders, I believe I picked the unders. If you guys go to my picks, you can see all my picks whenever you want at any time at tally.site, site/Michael-Barden. I also have it in the description when we're live streaming as well. You can see my historic record of every pick I've ever made. I am a very mediocre NBA, NCAA basketball. I pick a little bit of hockey. I'm mediocre. I'm like 45%. But in the NFL, I am the number 2 picker overall in the TallySite Community Network. The TallySite Community Network is it's made up of people like in the Athletic and ESPN and SB Nation. And yeah, here's Michael just hot garbaging his way into the leaderboard. Oh shoot, we lost Wade. Let me see if I can get him back, everybody. Oh, there we go. All right, you're on. You disappeared off of the stream. I don't know if it was my maybe so, technical stuff. Technical stuff. Yeah, it was probably like a an errant click by yours truly. So, all right. So we're gonna go into our next segment, which is our trash players of the week. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, on my segment, I'll usually talk about a couple of players that are going to underperform. It's all about hot garbage. So I've chosen a couple of players that I think are going to perform, um, underperform, and Wade has also picked a couple. So that being said, we'll get into trash players of the week. I'm changing scenes here, so I can now do a screen share. Wade can't see this, but so you guys can see this on the website. I set Wade up on Tally site as well, so it's kind of a fun little demo of how I can work with. If you guys are a content creator and you guys want to use the Tally site platform, give me a holler, and I can set you guys up. But I set Wade up. It took me like 5 minutes just to like had his picks in here under the hot garbage family umbrella. So I'll go first though. Right now I'm showing my picks. So here are my 2 trash players of the week. So number 1, Jalen Hurts. I have him throwing an interception. I have him throwing a pick. Right now those odds are plus 125. So if you bet $10, you're going to get 22 and a half back. He had a lot of interceptions at the beginning of the year. He's toned them down a little bit. Um, I, I just think this, as I mentioned, I think there's going to be an unders 49. I think both these teams are going to be playing like really hard. And I think Washington is they've seen each other before. So I think Washington's going to nab a pick from Jalen Hurts. My second trash player of this game is Brian Robinson. He's been hurt, kind of in and out of games. I have him going under 47 and a half on his rushing yards total for the game. Also, you guys, if you go to my URL, if you just click copy bet, like the button for each of these picks, it'll just load right into DraftKings. Like boom, if you're on the app, it'll load that right into your bet slip. So you don't have to do this, hey, I see your bet, but then you have to copy it and then recreate it on each of the different sports operators. That's brought to you by TallySite. This technology is brought to you by TallySite. Okay, those are my 2 trash picks of the week. Flipping over to Wade. Wade, who you got? No hurdling tight ends. Yeah, don't forget Saquon's the receiving back, right? It's like there's only so many balls, that can be thrown into lots of very capable receivers, tight ends, and running backs. Right. Oh no, I like it. I like it. Nice. Beautiful. All right. One last plug, and then we'll kind of move into our last segment, where Wade and I are just gonna maybe talk some shop, talk about the sports fan and marketing. But right now, if you guys go to thehotgarbage.com, I have a new sponsorship right now with Super Streaming. So Super Streaming is another company that I also work for. It's a really cool technology where we are helping content creators monetize their streams. Uh, the man, right? They're always taking a slice off of how much revenue the streamers are getting. It's your content. You deserve all of that, or you deserve most of that revenue. It shouldn't be like a 50-50 kind of thing. So, what we've done at Super Streaming is we found ways to bring each of the conversions into the stream, especially on Twitch and YouTube. Google and Twitch, they only want you to use their ways and how they help you monetize. And then, of course, they're going to take like 50%, right? So we've built a lot of technologies, and so we do it in the form of a mobile app, a mobile web app, of where you can have your fans use the mobile web app while they're watching, or you can do it while the video is in line in the web app, and you can also do it on a desktop device via a Chrome plugin. So if you download the Chrome plugin, we wrap your stream with shopping. If you guys have a Shopify account, you just go in and you select which Shopify items that you add onto your stream so that your users are streaming and they're not disrupting their experience. They're able to shop, make sports bets. They could be buying a movie ticket, for example, all while watching your stream, and you're not asking them, to like go somewhere. Okay, well, hey, why don't you guys go to like my shop? No, they came there to watch you stream, right? So why disrupt their experience or take them somewhere else? Allow them to make the transaction real time inside of the stream. So we're doing something as part of this Thursday Night Football event. So there's two things. One, you can go right now to mobile.superstreaming.gg. I'll pull this up for you guys in the screen share here. So we have three events going on right now. We have Thursday Night Football. So we'll have 21 questions all about Thursday Night Football. You can win money. We're giving away Amazon gift cards. You can just pull it up on your mobile phone while you're watching as a second screen experience. And then we'll update those questions real time. You can win money. We also have an event for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, and we have an ongoing weekly event for NBA and NFL player props. So I think we have one like tonight for like, is Luka Doncic going to go over 29 and a half points tonight? So we'll have three of those questions every day to keep you engaged like throughout the day. One of my favorite free to play games was for Fox Super Six. If you guys remember that, you'd answer like six questions. It's free to play, guys. It's just fun, right? Um, Now that I brought up the topic. Why not? Like, do you have any uh, feedback, comments, or point of view on the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul boxing event tomorrow? Wade, do you are you following this at all? Have you been? Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like 60, isn't he? He's like six, almost 60, almost 60. Like, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Jake Paul's been a genius in a way, and of course, he comes from the new media, like YouTube, and they they know how to bring everything that they've learned in building a followership and building up their media empire, and then how do they start to break down traditional media channels, right? And like, I don't want to get political at all. It'd be a bad move, but I don't think anyone can deny the fact that new media and the new media and everything that's going on with social media has huge those same power that they used to. And new media is just really starting to become so powerful now. And you can't turn an eye to it. And I think that the whole Jake Paul, Mike Tyson thing, even though it's a little bit strange in terms of the competition, it's just, I think it's a microcosm of how new media can disrupt traditional media channels right now. And I think it's cool. Like, you gotta love it a little bit, right? Like, how could you not, like, what everyone wants to see this happen a little bit. Come on. Mm, yeah. So you guys will move into, and I'm glad we're getting into this topic of conversation, because I did want to spend a little bit of time um, allowing Wade to introduce what he does in his business, and then I have a couple of things that in the marketing space, and specifically for the sports fan, obviously, because there's kind of a sports fan audience that might be tuning in. Just some kind of interesting topics of conversation that we've already covered. So yeah, Wade, tell me a little bit about your business. I'm pulling up your LinkedIn profile here on the screen share for Guide the Hero Consulting. Tell me all about what you do there. Right on, man. And so, if you guys are tuning in, Wade's just kind of talking about what he does at Guide the Hero Consulting, and that is you as a consumer. You're the hero. And if you guys think about marketers and probably some of your, your love marks or some of the brands that you really love, they have a story that's easy to understand for you, and it's uniform. Like if you see it here, if you see it this channel, if you see it in this channel, they're telling you the same thing. So Wade's business helps clients, put together that unified story, and then that's going to help brands win. And you, as a consumer, that's good for you too, because like then you're finding value, in the things that you buy or that you use, every day. Another angle too is so I do a lot of work with content creators, right? And it's the creator economy. We were just talking about this just a few minutes ago about part of the creator economy is that everyone's now building their own network, right? Like they're taking the power away from the traditional media, which has all the eyeballs, and now, okay, now you, if you're talking about a group of influencers or a group of content creators, maybe as a few thousand followers or maybe like 10,000 followers, you don't have a lot of power, but when you like band together, you have a ton of power. So how do you kind of see like that content creator, the creator economy? How do you see that start to factor in, into what you're doing at work, where you're trying to have just brands in general tell this unified single story, or have this like story? How is that relevant, or how does that apply to, like, let's say a content creator who's trying to build a following, or put together content? Like, what's your point of view on how that works? Yeah. 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 Yeah, and I think I've had this discussion over on the super streaming side, because we have prospective clients of like big brands, let's say like a ticket moving movie company like a Fandango, and then all the way down to the content creator side. And what you got to really appreciate about the content creator side is they have their finger on the pulse of the end customer, and then you don't have all of this like hierarchy of level upon level upon level. And then of course, when you get to the big brands, like, well, how many people are required to make a decision, around something versus typically you're going to have like one content creator. Most of the time, that content creator is making almost all of the business decisions. They're the ones who are also in charge of monetization and merchandising and getting ad revenue and all those things. And they have to do it all. So it's like, all right, well, if I can just talk to this person, they're going to implement it and they're going to know exactly what their fans or their followership or their customers want. Then when you get all the way up into the brand, level, they're so removed. Right? Like they just end up getting so removed and they're like, I don't know, shoot, there's hey, get Steve in here. Like Steve knows the pulse of the customer. Like how do you how do you break through, when you're when you, the differences between, appealing to a content creator and then, how do you break through some of those barriers that you have when you're trying to get a brand to do what a content creator can do a little bit more seamlessly. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. One last topic, and then we can let everyone get back to their Thursday night and prep for the Thursday night game. Yeah, but the sports fan, like the sports fans that might be watching some of this content right now, it's noisy. Like there's so many people trying to reach the sports fan, and there's just so many messages, that get delivered to the sports fan. What are some ways that you can cut through a lot of that and reach the sports fan with an authentic message? Like how do you kind of see some strategies in how to do that? Yeah, and I'm being hypocritical here because I'm listening to you talk, and you're like, "Hey, the less people talk about themselves, and the more they talk about the customer," and then I'm like, "Oh wait, hold on, now I'm gonna plug hot garbage," but no, but my this is how I'll tackle that is hot garbage started from like fans are angry. And I think a lot of the time, like a lot of corporations, shoot, look at the last political cycle, right? Um, there's a way, there's a like a harnessing and an understanding of the anger and not making it like a bad thing, right? It's like people are just angry and sad and they have emotions and they have those things, and it's about like not correcting but allowing and, like, writing those things, and so, I think that's yeah, it's you yeah, like, I wanna complain about that with somebody else, or I wanna be angry, and it's like and I love that team, they're, like, my favorite, but I hate them at the same time, right? It's just that the love-hate thing, and I mean, not like true hatred, but, just like a vent. Like a vent, the sports fan wants to vent, and, you wanna give them an outlet to vent because, yeah, I mean, shoot, how many I've when your team loses, you're so mad. It's like your whole world, right? It's kind of unhealthy. It's like it ruins. Oh man, oh, my day, whole day is gone. It's like it's just a game, but it's that fandom, right? And I think again, it's if we're kind of seeing a lot of what's happening right now with new media, like now it's not just a team, but you could have someone who has good content. They could be a shopper, they could be a gamer. They're harnessing that same fandom that's always been there, to be honest. I think it's always been there. It's just the digital forums have now given an opportunity to like collect and to assign those to a fan to somebody, an influencer or a team or whatnot, and then it allows them to engage like real time. You can engage with those fans. Whereas before, it had to be behind a barrier of something else because, digital is just broken down those barriers like completely. Yeah. Um, well, Wade, man, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. I mean, I could probably do this for another hour, to be honest, just because I love marketing. I love uh, being philosophical with marketing principles. So, where can people find you, Wade, if they want to talk to you about Guide the Hero Consulting, or just follow any of the smart things that are coming? Like where are you on? I know you talked about LinkedIn, but well, oh yeah, and I'll have to have you on again. That's good stuff. And you guys, tonight go to mobile.superstreaming.gg if you guys want to play that free to play game, giving away Amazon gift cards. All you got to do is sign in using your Google account. It's like one click. You don't even have to do anything. There's no IDs or location verification or all those other crazy things you guys got to do when you're signing up for a sports book. It's one click and go, and you can win prizes. So thanks again, Wade. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We appreciate you. We'll be back next week for Thursday night football. And uh, here's a load of the trash. Thanks again, guys.